black box of this aircraft has been recovered. It has been found on a building rooftop. This black box, remember, is the key to the crash, the entire probe as far as this particular crash is concerned. This black box, in fact, will reveal the reason of the entire crash itself. In fact, this is big breaking news that is coming in at this point of time. The black box has now been recovered and we can confirm it here on NDTV. It was found on the building rooftop and it will in fact give us all the reasons, reveal all the reasons of this entire crash. All right, we'll try and go back to my colleague Ankit Tyagi, who's there on the ground. But this is what we know so far. The black box from the Air India flight that crashed in Ahmedabad, it has been recovered. And this has been recovered from the rooftop near where the aircraft has crashed. Where this Boeing 787 Dreamliner aircraft has crashed. The authorities, they were searching for the black box for some time, and now it has been recovered. It is quite important and quite crucial as far as this entire development is concerned. Remember, this black box, it will, it is not a single device. It usually refers to two separate devices. That is the flight data recorder as well as the cockpit voice recorder. And this is crucial because black boxes, they're absolutely crucial in aircraft accident investigation for multiple reasons. Number one, for uncovering the cause of the crash. The data and as well as the audio that is being that has been recorded by the black boxes, it provide investigators with an objective second by second account. In fact, my colleague Ankit Tyagi, who is there on the ground, joins us live. Ankit, take us through the latest. So we understand that the black box has been recovered now.
That's the most important news which is coming in at this moment. The black box or the flight data recorder has been recovered of the AI-171. And let me show you where it was exactly recovered. The information from the press note that we have received is that right on this rooftop, and this is where we have been reporting since morning, there was a lot of activity, as I was saying. The 40-member AAIB team, the Air Accident Investigation Bureau, their 40-member team was able to recover the black box from this very area, which you are seeing on your screens, which I have been showing to our viewers since morning. This is the tail end. And let me very quickly, Osama, tell you, and we have been repeating this since morning, the black box, which is not black in color, orange or a yellow color device, which holds two important functions. So people sometimes confuse that as two black boxes. It is one black box with two important functions that is placed in the tail end, the tail end area of the aircraft. Now, this is in fact kept in this area and is able to take a lot of punishment and is able to withstand a lot of heat. And what we know at this moment is that has been recovered. One very important thing, Osama. Yeah.
We'll very shortly come back to you. In fact, Vishnu Shom also joins us from the newsroom here. Vishnu, we understand that we have recovered the black box. Please go ahead.
The details that we've got at this stage, this is coming in from the government that the Accident Investigation Board has begun full work, and that includes work on the digital flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder, which are parts of the black box, which has been recovered from the rooftop. It has been recovered from that same rooftop where the tail section of the aircraft had smashed into. That's the area which Ankit was describing, and I hope you've got that video up as well of that particular location. Earlier video which had actually emerged was of another component of the aircraft, some sort of a video recording device, but that at this stage the big breaking news is that the black box of the aircraft has been located. Now the black box of the aircraft of the Boeing 787 is located in the tail section of the aircraft. It is composed of two components. One is the cockpit voice recorder, which records the conversations of of the cabin, of the cockpit crew, in other words, the pilots. That recording would be there for approximately 2 hours, after which, it gets deleted, and then there is fresh conversation which is recorded. But we want to know what happened in the final few seconds over here. Therefore, that 2 hours is great, but we'll get that important cockpit voice recordings of what the pilots have said. Number one. Number two, another part of that black box is the DFDR, or the digital flight data recorder. That has more than 1,000 parameters of data on the aircraft. What was the aircraft performance like? What airspeeds did it achieve? What was the performance of every component of significance in the engines? Was there a depletion of thrust? Are there any indicators of a bird hit? That may not, they can give an indicator perhaps of a bird hit without necessarily identifying that. What was the position of the control surfaces on the aircraft? What was the exact speed of the aircraft and the thrust on the engines at the time when they rotated? In other words, they started climbing. Was there a loss in thrust of the engines, which are otherwise incredibly reliable engines from General Electric, each developing 70,000 pounds of thrust or so moments after takeoff? What was the reason? What did the pilots do at that stage? Was there an improper retraction of the flaps which took place? Was there some sort of misunderstanding within the cockpit? There are multiple theories. As importantly, are there indicators of problems with the fuel supply? Some say that could be a reason as well. There are many reasons. Is this a maintenance issue, a mechanical issue, a pilot error, or all three? All of this will now come out. Now, assuming that black box, which Ankit correctly pointed out, is not black in color, it's sort of pinkish orange in color. Why? Because it's meant to be reflective. It's meant to be something that attracts the attention of people going looking for it. If it is in an okay state, then there are solid data recorders which, as I mentioned, record the audio and separately record data on the flight parameters. Those are essentially plug and play in modern aircraft. They are hooked up to a computer, a laptop, or some other systems, and data is then downloaded seamlessly from that. And that data would give investigators a preliminary idea of what they are looking at. On the basis of that, they can actually take immediate decisions that, no, we perhaps have a larger problem on the basis of which we need to take these steps. What Air India will be looking out for is whether there is evidence of something which is unexpected, which points to a systemic maintenance concern or a potential maintenance concern across the entire Dreamliner fleet. Remember, Air India operates 33 Dreamliners, 27 I believe, or 26 was early, 27 was earlier on with the Air India fleet, which one of them has crashed. The remaining aircraft were from Vistara. Vistara's aircraft, which are now part of the Air India fleet, are the 7879, somewhat different, elongated fuselage, more seats, etc., etc. But this was a 7878 of the original order. Is there a concern over there which might prompt the regulator to ask for these aircraft for on a temporary basis to be grounded to rule out any problems? Now, if that is a step that India's regulator takes, if, and I repeat, if, then that is something that aviation safety boards around the world would be looking at. There are thousands of Dreamliner aircraft in operation around the world, and perhaps if there is a larger concern on the Dreamliner itself, it might end up affecting other fleets. At this juncture, we do not know this, but even a potential grounding of Air India's Dreamliners could be devastating for the airline. It has more Dreamliners than any other aircraft in the category of twin-aisle long-haul aircraft. So that's why all of this hinges on the data coming out from the black box, as it were.